Travis Van Goodsell. In a conundrum. It's clear I need to escalate my urgent warning to Mormons and everybody who will listen, but in so doing, the views have tanked. Nobody wants to be saved, just like in the days of Noah. Hey guys, rains are coming. F you. But I still have lots of videos to do about the church as more and more come, and yet at the same time I need to keep doing the work, preparing for what is about to come that you guys don't want to listen to. This video is going to be the difference between questioning the church versus questions for the church. When church history got exposed as a fraud in the church, the church leaders had to figure out a way to soften the blow for Mormons. And so they did a campaign of, it's okay to ask questions, just don't be critical or don't question the church. And it's just wrong. Jeremy Reynolds, who did the CES letter, was awesome by putting in was it Eber J. Grant? Was it his quote that said something to the effect of if the church can't stand scrutiny, it has no business standing at all, something to that effect. And so what the church means by it's okay for Mormons to seek answers to questions, as Jeremy Reynolds was probably the forefront for this movement by the leaders, in that he had questions for his CES director. And so the church then comes out, it's okay to ask questions, it's just not okay to question. And so here's the difference between questioning and asking questions in the Mormon church mindset. To question the church, you say, why is the Book of Mormon plagiarizing the 1769 version of the King James Bible? That's a question, but it involves questioning the church. And the questioning has to do with the Book of Mormon being plagiarized. Why are the errors of the King James Version in the Book of Mormon when the Book of Mormon is supposed to be a translation of an ancient record that should be the original Isaiah, not the errors of the 1769 translation? And so those kinds of questions the church does not want Mormons to seek for and ask, as that throws into doubt the authority of the church leaders. Got contact issues lately. And that's what they don't want Mormons to do. They don't want Mormons to find out, search for, and actually question the authority of them as leaders of the church, and anything that would take Mormons away from the faith. And that's what they claim, is that if it's not faith promoting, it's evil. And this is a legitimate question, though. Why is the Book of Mormon plagiarizing the 1769 King James Version? That's a legitimate question because it's factual. And the church can't answer that. They won't answer that because it means they don't have authority. And there's a deeper, darker reason that is beyond just answering this question or not answering it. And I've been doing those videos for you. And so what the church wants when they say faith promoting is things that maintain the church's facade of authority and legitimacy. And so they want you to ask something like, what is the love of God in my life? You see the difference? The one goes right to the core as to whether the church is true or not. The other is, oh, the church is automatically true, and so now I want to know what I can do in my own personal life as I allow the church to continue to make trillions of dollars off of me. And so that's the difference between questioning and questions for. The church has no problems if Mormons would have sent the leaders of the church questions for, asking, oh, my new husband, his first wife died, and I'm now his second wife. Will I be the first wife in the afterlife? Or will I be the, oh, well, just trust in the Lord, my dear sweet Mormon girl. Now, Oakes did that. He had no problem accepting that letter with that question. But when it comes to other questions of authority, no. They all get shipped to your stake president, and you get to go talk with him as to whether you're an enemy of the church and need to have your temple recommend taken away from you and excommunicated from the church. That's the difference. Otherwise, they would have continued to this day taking questions from Mormons, but nope. Mormons were asking tough questions that were challenging the church's authority. So that's one of the videos that I wanted to talk about. Then there are others. I'm still debating as to whether I'm going to do a Follow Me If You Want to Live channel or playlist. If you're not familiar with that line, it's from Terminator. I can't remember his name, but he's the father of John Connors, who comes to Sarah Connor to protect her from the Terminators, who were sent back in time to murder her and prevent the birth of John Connor. And then the latest one they've done is a transition away from the Schwarzenegger Terminators into the new Terminator timeline. I'm not happy with that. Schwarzenegger's Terminator was just fine, but they did well making the transition for us, whereas other shows fail on that regard. Alright, so yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. There's lots of things that you guys need to know to survive with what's coming. And I don't think we're going to get to that point. It's going to be a matter of those who survive. Steven Spielberg did a TV show, I'm trying to remember the name. It's about an alien invasion that forces humans to go underground into a rebellion. Let's see if I can remember. Spielberg TV shows. And they're not showing it. Steven Spielberg, list of movies and TV shows. Or his filmography, I guess I should have gone to. filmography. Night Game, Columbo, Something Evil, Stars of Genius, Amazing Stories, as producer, Plucky Duck. Falling Skies, there it is. Yeah, post-apocalyptic science fiction. It was decent. He could have done better as a producer, executive producer. But he wasn't director or writer of the series. Oh, he was involved with the Prince of Egypt. Oh, other non-credited roles. Well, what did he do? Huh. Executive producer. Huh. So why? Oh, that was film. Okay, not television. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be in not the too distant future, as the government will completely and utterly collapse, as people are saying, hey, no, we're wanting to live. We don't want to give our lives because you say so. And so people are not going to know how to survive, as we've advanced in technology to the point where survival is gone from our thinking processes because everything was taken care of for us in this higher technology world we're living in. And so there's some things that I need to go over with you, but I don't think we're going to have time. Maybe. We'll see. But just understand, they want to kill you. Nelson, Herbert, Trump, they all want you dead. They're telling you to go back to work. This virus ain't over. They're telling you it's all clear. You know, that's what the Morlock told the Eloi. And you're like, what? Yeah, you don't understand your classic literature? That's H.G. Wells, The Time Machine. There was the reboot version, but I prefer the 1960 version of the TV show, based on the book. The book is different from both movies. The reboot movie did try to go back to more of what the book was talking about, with the library specifically. But I prefer the 60 version movie. And he was escaping war. So he was going into the future to see if mankind learned better. He learned they didn't. As mankind annihilated themselves and eventually formed themselves into two groups. One lived underground and used the ones on the surface of the ground as chattel. Not just for money purposes, but for food, as they did the Alex Jones thing and turned their neighbors into food for their cannibalistic delights. And so yeah, I do need to go over that with you guys, but I don't think I'll have time to do a whole series on that. So understand, they want you dead. I'm the only one who wants you to live. And yet you guys are putting thumbs down, you're ignoring me, etc. So let's see how we can do with who survives what's coming.